Hello friends, this is Scott and Mr. Lincoln, and we're in my living room of my Salt Lake City residence, and I've got a little bit of a dilemma of a subject matter that I've just found that I thought was not really going to be an issue, but it ended up being a huge issue. If you remember the last time I was down at the hobby farm, I had sick cats. Okay, Thing and Theo both have the sniffles. Now I'm thinking, okay, I'm in a rural county. I should be able just to call up, one of the local, farm stores and be able to go buy something for a common cold in animals, some kind of an over-the-counter medication. Thinking rural county. I know in the past they've had antibiotics you could even buy. I mean, this is, there's commonly there's sick animals in rural areas. And again, the dilemma is in the city, a dog and a cat is a household pet. Okay, they're more part of our family. We're more willing to take them to the vet because they're like our children, right? Well, animals in the country are viewed differently. They are farm animals. There's barn cats. When I bought the hobby farm, I adopted 3 cats that were left by the previous owner. And there's also a 4th cat that comes by that's I also take care of. I feed and water them and do all those types of things. But that is my dilemma as I'm trying to live my best rural life in the country now, not just in the city. How do these domestic animals, common domestic animals, how does it differ, and how am I going to treat these animals? I got into chickens in the city. There were people out there that would buy chickens and that live in the, suburbia, and their chicken gets sick, and they're going to take their chicken to the vet and pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars for a $5 chicken. Okay, that's an ethical dilemma. Okay, they're your pets, they're your family. It's a whole different breed. You move that to the country though, and you're talking, you may have hundreds of chickens. You may have, like I have 4 cats. You may have a couple dogs, things like that. Now, I thought when I went down there and I found the sick cat last Tuesday, there's 2 sick cats, Theo and Thing. And Thing looked the worst of the wear between the 2 of them. So I called up Tractor Supply, which is in this rural county, and thinking, hey, I should be able to get some kind of an over-the-counter medication because I have 2 cats that have the same basic symptoms. They got watery eyes, coughing, congested, stuffed up nose. I'm thinking I could find something short of a vet that I could get just to help them out, okay? Well, I learned from Tractor Supply, even in a rural county, that they passed laws recently, within the last year or 2, that they don't give any antibiotics or anything that you can buy rurally. I was thinking, what happens if your sheep gets sick or your cows get sick? Okay, right now there is nothing available. Now you can still buy sheep dewormers and things like that that are preventative, but if you actually have a sick animal at the moment and you try to find something to help them that doesn't appear to be maybe the most significant illness that may require a vet, but it's like when we have a common cold, okay, or we think we have a cold, we go to the drugstore and we can buy all the over-the-counter medication, for every symptom there is. Okay, yeah, it's masking a symptom. It may not cure the disease, but again, we all know that veterinarians are not cheap, okay? And we're not gonna run especially in the country, we're not gonna run every animal to the vet. Basically, for time, they're viewed differently, as well as the financial ramifications. So I have 2 sick cats, same symptoms. It's probably not something worse. It's probably a common upper respiratory virus that's very contagious with animals like cats. So I wanted to just get something that I could at least try out. Now, if that doesn't work, then yeah, vets are there, and it's all based on your ethical or your financial abilities to take your pet to the veterinarian. But I found out even in rural Utah, where I live, you cannot buy any over-the-counter medication. Okay, it's illegal. They don't allow them to sell them. I could buy eye wash, so I could treat a little bit of the symptoms, but nothing. Okay, I couldn't. There's nothing to help with a common cold. I'll just use that as the example because that's what I'm facing right now. Okay, so last Tuesday I find these sick animals. I call around, call the vet's office. Is there anything I can get without a huge cost? Can I get as a way to treat these animals? They all appear to have the same symptoms. Nothing. The vets won't do anything for you unless you bring the pet in for evaluation. I understand that. Okay, animals and humans can have similar symptoms and have totally different diseases. Okay, so but right now though, I can't do anything for this cat. It's Tuesday, nothing can be done. So I come home, leaving that cat down there thinking, or the 2 cats down there thinking, I'm going to reevaluate them in a couple days and just see how they're doing. Okay, if it's a cold, they'll most likely get over it. Okay, because if they are not getting over it, there's probably something more significant going on with that animal, so therefore a vet will be needed. Okay, so I go down Thursday, okay, 2 days later to check on these cats. Okay, Theo greets me, perfect, not even a sniffle, I don't think. He may have coughed once while I was down there. Okay, Thing, not so much. Eyes shut, crusty nose, lethargic, not eating or drinking. So Thing has a serious problem. Okay, this is not going to get better. This cat's going to die if I don't do something with it. Again, now we have the dilemma of, is this a farm animal, barn cat, okay, or is this a pet? Okay, I love my animals. I want the best for my animals, but again, I'm doing okay for myself, but I don't have all the money in the world to take every animal that I could possibly have on a farm or a hobby farm to the vet all the time, because it's just not reasonable. And I'm going to get to the cost breakdown in a minute. So got the cat, again, Theo's good, Thing's not. Okay, I grabbed Thing, put her in the car, off to Salt Lake we come. Okay, so Thing's in my basically in a bedroom. Okay, I've got her in there now. Nice warm environment, everything's good. Okay, but she's not doing good. So I go to Intermountain Farmers, and now I'm in the city, so I go to Intermountain Farmers, which is a local farm store. And I learned the same thing. Doesn't matter whether you're in the country or the city, there is no over-the-counter medications for common household pets or any animals, really. Okay, so if I have a sick chicken and I have an ethical dilemma or moral dilemma with that sick chicken, and I want to take it to the vet, I'm obligated immediately for hundreds and hundreds of dollars for an animal that's, again, value of life is I guess it's hard to put a price tag on it, but in reality, we have to put a price tag on it because we're not made of money, okay? If we think that every animal that gets sick should go to the vet, okay, then poor people, I guess, should never have animals because it's just not reasonable. Okay, is that really the way we want to look at the socio hierarchy of people and their love of animals? You have to be rich to be able to have animals. That's kind of where we're going here. So the topic is we have 0 over-the-counter medicines for pets. Okay, 0. Now is this because humans are getting, like ketamine, things like that, the horse tranquilizer originally? Is it because humans are abusing those things, so they're outlawing it? Is it because we don't want antibiotics in the environment because we find them in our water sources and all those types of things? But we're in a dilemma now of we have no choice. Okay, if we love our pets and we want to help our pets, if we have the financial ability to help our pets, we have to take them to a veterinarian. Now we all know that yes, there's a humane society in places like that which have limited hours, and there's some emergency time, so you could possibly take an animal to the humane society and have a little bit of a reduction of cost, possibly. Okay, but again, I'm out of county. I can't get any help in a rural county, which really surprises me because I would think that if any place has them, it would be a rural county where people are not made of money, but they have lots of animals. So in theory, if you don't have the money in a rural county and your animal gets sick, you're just basically left to its own devices, and it'll just sit there and suffer. And if it survives, it survives. If it dies, it'll linger and have who knows, a painful or excruciatingly long death, which is real humane, right? Well, in the cities, when we have animals, again, we have lots of animal welfare laws now. Whereas if people were, again, I'm totally against animal cruelty, okay? But we have if you don't take care of animals, it's a felony now in many places, okay? So if you cannot adequately care for your animal and your animal dies and somebody turns you in, then you could be legally held responsible for inhumane treatment, okay? That's not even taking into account that you don't want that to happen. You want to help your animal, but maybe you do not have the resources to take that animal to a veterinary hospital, okay? So I get Thing to Salt Lake City. I come home, grab a carrier, because I didn't have an animal carrier. I put her in the carrier and off to the vet I go. So when I get to the vet, I walk in there and they have a sign that says no walk-ins. Okay, so now I've got a situation where I've got kind of an emergency. This animal's not doing well. It's not gonna get better, it doesn't appear. They don't want to see the animal, okay, because there's just no walk-ins, they're too busy, okay? But I was able to, use some persuasion and get them to at least see this animal, okay? So I take Thing in there, and they see Thing. And I'm grateful that they're willing to check out this cat, okay? But now I know that there's gonna be some cha-ching behind this visit. I went in there thinking, hey, I've got 2 cats, same symptoms. It's probably not some other major disease or feline leukemia or AIDS or whatever these cats get. Okay, the symptoms are a common cold. Okay, watery eyes, stuffy nose, plugged nose. You could hear raspy breathing, lethargic, not going to eat or drink. Okay, it's like if I'm sick, I'm not just going to immediately, with those symptoms, I'm not going to go immediately to the doctor's office or the emergency room. I'm going to go to Harmon's, a local grocery store, or a pharmacy and go buy some over-the-counter medication to help me manage the symptoms. Not going to cure the disease, but maybe help me help manage the symptoms so that I can get better on my own without having to go to a doctor and spend all this money on the healthcare for something that doesn't appear to be, it appears to be treatable, or at least the symptoms. Okay. So I go in there, they won't do anything unless they see the cat. Great. So they got to give it a physical. Okay. So we have the physical. Doctor comes in, they basically, check the breathing, they check the temperature, there's a fever. They, discuss all the things that it could be. If we want to do more diagnostic tests, which could be thousands of dollars, for this cat now, this barn cat that I inherited when I bought the hobby farm. So now if I want to find out what's really wrong with this cat, I'm going to have to spend lots of money diagnostically. But I want to just start at the lowest level, try to treat things at the lowest level, which is give me something that I give this cat to help the congestion, and then I can force feed and get some water in her and go through that route. But I need some help. Nothing. Okay? The only thing that they did was they did what they call fluid subcutaneous treatment, which is taking a needle. I didn't see how they did it, and they were going to show me, but I never did get shown. So just putting a little fluid under the skin so that it would absorb slowly so you're not going to cause diarrhea in the animal. That itself took literally a minute or two. Okay, that was $83.95. Okay, the actual exam where all they did was come in and check the breathing and check the teeth and the temperature and weighed the cat was $135.50. Okay, so we decided that I'm not going to do this more I'm not going to try to do any more diagnostic, because this is the dilemma of, okay, we have a common household pet that's a farm animal for me. Okay, so I'm torn between two worlds here. Okay, but they get some antibiotic, okay, which I have to administer. They didn't give the cat themselves anything, but they gave me the medicine for 10 days. That was $68.21. Then I got some other type of eye medication. Okay, that was just to wipe in the eyes twice a day. So that was $34.07. I got a little cat food and I got a syringe so that I could feed the cat if I need to force feed the cat. Okay, so grand total was $336.24 for me to bring one barn cat into a vet for what appears to be a common cold or upper respiratory infection. If it's worse, there's nothing I'm going to do. I can't do anything for this cat. I'm not going to pay for, leukemia treatment if it was leukemia. Okay, I find out this cat, just in the examination, this cat is a lot older than I thought it was, missing some teeth and things like that. So again, I didn't buy this house to own a bunch of pets, but I wanted them to live their life out and live a good life. And I feed them and water them, which obviously, the food is not cheap, but, I give them a warm place to stay. They're basically living in my garage now. And they have a heat lamp, and they've got all the food and water they need, and a litter box, and they're able to live there and live there pretty comfortably. So again, I usually have 3 or 4 cats in my garage. Okay, so I get Thing back home, and I'm administering all this medication. This is the 3rd day. Okay, she's starting to drink. I've been wiping her eyes out. I've been force feeding her a little bit. She's starting to now consume water on her own. So I think Miss Thing is going to survive, and I'll show a short little clip of her in one of my bedrooms drinking water. Okay, so hopefully because of she's going to come around and be okay. But I still have Theo down there. Okay, so I just say I go back in a few days. I got to keep Thing here for at least 10 days because I've got to be able to administer the medication. So now I go back and just say Theo is worse for wear. Okay, now I've got an ethical, moral, and financial dilemma. Okay, it's Christmas. Okay, again, I'm blessed. Okay, I'm not rich, but I'm doing fine. Okay, I'm able to have 2 properties that I can enjoy. Okay, but I just can't be spending hundreds and hundreds or thousands of dollars every time an animal is sick, because there's nothing I can do outside of a veterinary's office. They won't even look at an animal. But you have to bring the animal in, have them look at it. They'll never even say, hey, can we just try something over the counter, just as a possible remedy to this situation. So why are we in this boat? Okay, I get online and I do a Google search that says, hey, are there any over-the-counter animal medications? And the only thing I find is, are human medications okay to use in animals? And that's all these dosage issues and all this other stuff. So yeah, people are trying to give human medicine to animals rather than having an animal healthcare industry that has something that can be over the counter for more the minor type of symptoms. For human beings, we're allowed to go to the grocery store or the pharmacy and buy over-the-counter things for sniffles and stuffy nose and watery eyes. Why can't I have a medication for animals that are with those same symptoms? Yeah, it could be a worse disease, but in reality, we're dealing with potentially people that do not have the money or animals that are viewed in a different way than domestic household pets. Okay? Why do I have no options other than to go pay a vet $336 to spend literally 2 minutes with this animal, do nothing other than the basic exam and shoot water under the skin, and then hand stuff to me and say, hey, this is how you use it, go home and good luck, okay? There's something wrong with this. Again, we're supposed to love animals, we're supposed to care for animals. I love animals. Again, rural, urban is a whole different ballgame when you're making arguments about things, okay? But there should be some kind of industry in this country where you can treat animals that are domestic animals and treat them humanely, economically reasonably, and quickly, so that if that doesn't work, then you got to make a decision of whether you're going to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars to try to save this animal's life. But I'm really upset not being able to do anything for these animals if in the future I go down there and now Theo's sick. Worse. What am I going to do with Theo? I'm not going to spend another $336 on Theo. Okay, can I dispatch Theo? Okay, that's a felony. That's a common household pet. So if I put Theo out of his misery, then what's going to happen to me? Am I a felon? Okay, in Salt Lake County, if I have a sick chicken, okay, I can't even dispatch that chicken legally in the county because it's illegal in Salt Lake County to dispatch animals. Okay, so it's like, what are you supposed to do? What's in the best interest of the animal? Okay, that is my dilemma, and I'm wondering what your thoughts are about that because I love animals, but I can't save them all. Okay, what do you do? Okay, think about that. Drop me a comment on that and see what you think. I think we need a kind of an over-the-counter animal, basic domestic animal or small, farm animal, products that we can buy that can maybe save some animal's life and cause some suffering or lessen some suffering. It's not going to solve all the problems in the world, but, should we shoot every human or just let every human that has the sniffles just have nothing they can do for their symptoms to help that animal from suffering? I think we've got some serious issues in this country with, I don't know if it's just people padding their pockets or it's liability or what it is. But it seems like, for a veterinarian to charge $336 to see a cat for 5 minutes is a joke, okay? And I know they don't pay their techs and everything very much money in those veterinary places. So where's all this money going? Okay, is this just a for-profit situation with no options? Okay, we really need to examine how we're treating our animals and what we can do for simple, common problems that we have right now there is no solutions for other than let Mother Nature take its course. Okay, let me know your thoughts. Again, I'm a little upset about this. But, I did what I thought was the right thing. I hope Thang lives. We shall see in the next 7 days if this medication will do the job. If it doesn't, I'm out $336 and I can at least say, hey, I tried. But not everybody can try. Okay? Thanks for watching, and let me know your thoughts about this topic. Thank you.